Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to start collecting Kings of War Ambush, and today we're going to take a look at the Empires of the Dust and their brand new starter box set for the Kings of War Ambush game. Now, in this box set, we're going to talk about all the miniatures for them, talk about what they all do on the tabletop before looking at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial box set. We'll then finish off the video showing you a little sample army list of 500 points to get you started and hopefully give you some inspiration for starting your own Kings of War Ambush army for the Empire of Dust. And so, with that all said, first of all, we get a Skeleton Warriors box set, which here on the picture we've got Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Archers built up, but we can also go with basic Skeleton Warriors as well. Talking about the Spearmen though, I think these are a core unit you should be trying to get into your Empire of Dust army for your games of ambush. The Phalanx rule, stopping Thunderous Charge coming into your units, is incredibly important in a ambush army where cavalry really can be the big damage dealers of the game. They've also got Life Leech as well, which is nice, where they can potentially heal some wounds, and Shambling as well. They can also take a Casket of the Damned, which is an army special upgrade for the Empire of Dust, where once per game, when this unit is targeted by a surge spell, you can roll an additional 6 dice, which count towards the total surge result. This must be declared before rolling for the spell, and once you've used this once, it is removed and can't be used again. Now, melee 5+ is, not too great, and defense 4+ is, average. 12 attacks in a troop, or 15 if you do decide to go for a regiment. But we also have Skeleton Archers here pictured on the box set. Now, they have melee 6+ and range 5+, so they're not that great. Their bows are 24-inch range, though, which is a pretty decent range for a ranged attack, with 8 attacks in a troop or 10 in a regiment. You've got Life Leech there as well, and defense 3+ is not ideal, but what are you going to do? They're nice and dirt cheap archers to bring to the table. Where this box really comes into its own though is the fact you get 2 lots of Revenant Cavalry. Now these are a solid unit. Defense 5+, melee 4+, 8 attacks in a troop or 16 in a regiment. You could certainly turn these 2 troops into a single regiment if you want to, though I do like the idea in a game of ambush having these smaller cavalry units. I think 2 of these troops will really provide you with some nice hitting power for the rest of your army to sort of focus and maintain your central line for the Empire of Dust. And so, where to look to next? Certainly we could be thinking about grabbing some Skeleton Warriors for your Empires of Dust. You could use these to either increase your Skeleton Archers or your Skeleton Spearmen, or even go with the cheaper option of just grabbing basic Skeleton Warriors. Skeleton Warriors do have the standard sort of profile that your Skeleton Spearmen have, so melee 5+ and defense 4+. Though they have 10 attacks and 12 attacks in a troop and regiment respectively, a little bit less than your spearmen, and don't get that Phalanx rule. Really, their big thing here is you can make them a nice little offensive unit, giving them crushing strength 1, but lowering their defense to 3+, which is really cool. Now, if we're looking at heroes to bring in, a Cursed High Priest is certainly a great piece to bring in for the Empires of Dust. This is, a really nice wizard. Spellcaster 3, he's got the Reanimated rule, where for each other friendly core skeleton unit within 6 inch, you can reroll 1 die that failed to hit with Drain Life, Fireball, Heal, Hex, Surge, Weakness, or Wind Blast, up to a maximum of 2 rerolls per spell. And like I said, you can take that ton of different spells available to him, and you can also be mounted on an undead horse if you want him to be as well. Now, Revenant troops are a more elite fighting option. I talked about your Skeleton Warriors maybe being a little bit of a nice glass hammer, but if you're looking for something that can actually do some damage, you've got your Revenants. Melee 4+, defense 4+, so a better armor. They're not dropping their armor to gain crushing strength. They've got Life Leech, and they can take the Casket of the Damned as well. They've got 10 and 12 attacks respectively for a troop and regiment, same as the Skeleton Warriors, but like I said, the big difference here is not having to drop that defense, so remaining at that defense 4+. Lastly, a nice piece to bring into the force are Desert Swarms. These have the Scout Special rule, melee 5+, and defense 2+, so they're not survivable in any manner. But that Scout rule is going to provide you with some nice little additional special rules to be able to play with your army, where this unit can make a single at the double or advance order after setup is finished, but before the first turn. So they can just, aim to either block off channels on a table where normally if you're playing ambushes you have a little bit more terrain on the table, so there can be something to forward maneuver, block off channels, force your opponent to have to charge them first and block the lanes of movement, or indeed threaten your opponent's characters or backfield as well with them, putting them on a flank. And so here we have our sample army list for the Empire of Dust. Now, the only things we've added into that initial box set here is another lot of Skeleton Spearmen of a troop and a Cursed High Priest. Now, we have gone with 2 troops, a Skeleton Spearmen and a Skeleton Archers. These will pretty much form the core battle line of our force here. Put the Spearmen, the Archers behind, and you'll have that Cursed High Priest there with the Surge spell behind them, which is really cool. This is going to, form that central sort of core of the army. And then we're also going to have the Revenant Cavalry in a single regiment there. Now, the reason we've gone for the regiment here over the 2 troops, which I honestly do prefer, is the fact that we're just running low on points. We've put the Blood of the Old King artifact on them, which is really cool. This is going to allow them to, once per game, the unit gains the Elite Melee and Vicious Melee for 1 turn. This must be declared before they roll for any attacks though, so pretty cool there. Now, Surge is a really interesting spell because it can be used on friendly shambling units only. For each hit, the target friendly shambling unit moves straight forward a full inch, and stopping just out of contact with friendly units and blocking terrain. If applicable, the fly rule is not in effect for their movement. In this movement brings them into contact with an enemy, treat this as a successful charge. However, the charge unit will not take any nerve tests for any damage it might have taken from previous range phase, however. If and only if the Surge unit contacts a corner of an enemy unit and not the edge, determine which arc it is that's going to be fighting. And then if the Surge move took the hit over an obstacle or through difficult terrain, will be hindered. The spell has no effect on units with 0. So this just gets you, some nice extra movement with the rest of your force, which is really, really cool. Lastly, we are, a perfect 500 points here, and then we've got 4 regiments and troops in total, and this means we can play with 4 unlocked units. We've only used the 1 here with our Cursed High Priest. But if you've been playing with the Empire of Dust in Kings of War Ambush, let us know how you've been going down in the comments below. Love to hear from everyone. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also, down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, or by grabbing some merch from either Ko-fi or Teespring. All of these are the best ways to help support the channel, and it means the world to us that people do choose to help support us. Now, as a special thank you to everyone who supports the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Kevin Bowman, Iron Grinch, and Nuffs. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, James South, Dave Crozier, Dylan Areno, and James Tillman. And lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you can see here, and indeed pick up the stickers of the amazing artwork or the amazing artwork on our merch as well if you want to. But thank you once again, everyone, and a special thanks as well to everyone who helps support the channel and to all those who come and help with the channel, be the people that come and do battle reports or indeed those that are managing our Discord server. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.